I have always been a premier in Zango. Always. And wouldn't that be a wonderful little technique to do in the morning when you're creating your intention for that day? I have always been a premier. And wouldn't that be a wonderful thing that when John over there gets off auto ship and quits the juice, and instead of getting depressed, I've always been a premier, that you lay some kind of a positive time frame on top of what it is that you're doing. I have always been a premier. You want to try it? Let's try it. I want you to experience how this feels. Because if you leave here without the experience, you might not believe me. So let's try it. I have always been a premier. I've always been a premier in Zango. Doesn't you feel the power in that? That is really powerful. You can apply this to anything in your life. The creating your mindset breakout was always fantastic. It was always incredible. So was the invasion. Like the always thing is another way to flip your brain over into something. And if you actually go through this enough, there'll be a shift where you know it. And then it's just a matter of waiting for time to catch up to your dream. Just letting it unfold in front of you. Well, that's our team training site, becomingapremier.com. We have a newsletter. Doing the 14-day challenge at Sherman's Day After event. It's actually more about the basics of the business. And the idea here is that if you leave here, this convention, and you don't get into action and start doing something in the first 2 weeks from the time you leave this convention, I got bad news for you. It's going to fade out, and you're going to go back to exactly who you were before. You've got about a 2-week window to take this energy and do something with it. Take this belief in what it is that you're doing and do something with it. Just like you heard the founders talking about this morning. You've got to act on this. And what better time to act on this than when you first leave? And for some reason, I see the opposite happening a lot. People get they have this incredible experience and they're all excited and they're like that thing all revved up with no place to go. You know, and there's new tools out there, and what about this, and what about that, and they're like deer in the headlights. They don't know where to begin. So I will tell you this. Just start picking up the phone and talking to people. I could care less what you say or what tool you use. Just start sharing your story and your heart with people. Tell them what your experience was here, and start this within the first 14 days. You can change but if you wait for 2 weeks go by, and you don't do anything in those 14 days, this will become a distant memory and nothing is going to shift in your life. You're going to go back into those old programs and start replaying the past all over again. It's like a warning. It's like tough love here, right? David Butler likes to talk about that. So you don't have to come to this, but I encourage you to do something when you leave here within 14 days. We're just about done here. We're doing good. What the heck is that? That's my old truck. We still have this truck. In fact, I took this picture before last year's convention. One of those sleepless nights, I woke up in the middle of the night and I started thinking about my old truck. That's only 11 years ago. That's what we were driving. We paid $600 for that truck and we put over 100,000 miles on it. And you know what? It never broke down until we got home. Never. Would never leave me on the side of the road, that truck. I love that truck. Its beauty was within. Your beauty is within too. But we decided to get back into, I say work from home for 21 years because there was a period of time when we weren't actually networking, but we were still working from home. And we decided to get back into networking. Another one of her ideas. That was the other one. She said, well, I'm going to do this one. I don't care what you do. Boy, that got my attention. I was thinking about this other one, and she says, no, I'm going to do this one. We decided to go to their convention. We had no credit cards. Don't you hate those people when you try to sign them up, they have no credit cards? We had no credit card. We mailed our sponsor a check, and he put it on his card for our first order. And then we were going to go to this convention, and that's what we were driving. We drove all day to get down there. And it was about 9 o'clock at night. We were almost at the source of the convention when we decided we better get off the road. and find a place to sleep. We did not have money for a motel. We didn't have $29.95 for a Motel 6 back then. We were going to tent it. You know? Now Zango's got us in this majestic suite. You know, it's like got 2 rooms and it's up on the Monaco there. We like the Monaco. And it's like this huge thing. And you know, 10 years ago we didn't have money for a motel. So we pull into this campground just before we got into town to have some sleep. We didn't realize it was right across the street from a railway track. All night long. And we get up the next morning, and as Terry's getting out of the tent, she like puts her back out. Seriously, like almost a slip disc, where she couldn't even hardly move. And I didn't know what to do. You know, we had a choice. Do we still go to the convention, or do we turn around and drive home? She's tough. She says, we're going. She's like that, you know, we're going. So we went to the convention. We found this chiropractor, gave her adjustment on a park bench. Yeah. Love those chiropractors. Any chiropractors in here? You see any sore people, give them a work on a bench. We tented the next two more nights as well, because we didn't have money for a motel.